What's up everybody, my name is Jameson. Welcome to my shop. I'm going to walk you through 5 essential things that you might not have thought about that every wood shop should have. Let's start on ground floor. Number 1, floor mats. These guys, these little foam ones, are super affordable. I think I got them from Harbor Freight. There are a ton of options on the market, like these foam kind or even like the rubberized kind that I have at my table saw. You owe it to yourself to save your back when you're in the shop. So invest in a couple of these. They're cheap, they're easy. Let's go. Probably didn't need to stand up for this one. But number 2 on the list, shop apron. This thing is a must-have, I feel, for anybody in the wood shop or who's a power carver in particular, because you throw a lot of dust. Shop aprons keep all your essential items right at hand. Now, not only do they look super fashionable, but they also save your clothes. And I don't like tracking dust around the house because that's icky. So, shop apron like this, must have. Now, speaking of dust, on to number 3.
Number 3,
respirator. This is a must for power carvers or any woodworker really, because whether you're on the table saw, the bandsaw, or turning it up with a 4.5-inch angle grinder, you're making dust, and it's the dust you can't see that will damage your lungs the most. So I highly recommend getting a good respirator to, well, take care of that. One final thing on respirators is store them in a place where there's no dust. In the air after you're done cutting in your shop, there's going to be tiny little particulate that's just floating around. If you set this down like this, you're going to get a crap load of dust inside of it. So have a cabinet that you store it in that is sealed and dust free, or something hanging on the wall maybe by, well, the door as you leave. That will save you from getting a little particulate inside. Highly recommend. Also, hanging air filters are a plus. Dust collection is a must. Do it. Your lungs will thank you. And now I'm going to take you to the next one, like right there. So I went to the doctor last week and I had a hearing test done, and he said I was going deaf. The news was hard to hear. So that brings me to the 4th thing, which is hearing protection. Let me save your ears. This crappy old pair in all its glory is a life changer for a lot of people. Now, I highly recommend getting the type like this that aren't like the earbud style that you can listen to music, or just a traditional, ones that you can have radios on that look like this, because as I'm working in the shop, I want to hear the machine running. I know it muffles everything, but this really does help to gauge the feel of the machine that's working. So whether you're power carving or you're working on the table saw, it's good to have that feel instead of, listening to Mariah Carey's greatest hits, which is still, sure, why not? But let's get on to the final thing in the top 5, right here on the bench. I'll see you down here. A little farther. The final thing on the list is a cheap orbital sander. Cheap being $50 to $70 range, because as I'm doing weird carvings like fish carvings that have a lot of radiuses, or dished pieces like this maple panel here, well, you can run into issues with the sander wearing out quickly, so the bearings or the pad. I highly recommend getting an inexpensive one just for that occasion. Save your very expensive Fez tool stuff for larger projects with flat panels. Let's wrap this up. So those are the 5 essential items that I feel every wood shop should have, and I want to hear what you think is an essential in your shop. Please send me a comment below, share, like, subscribe, much appreciated. I'm gonna go lay on the floor again because that mat was considerably more comfortable than I thought.